Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Monkey Around Reviews. Today we have the Fokoos, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but the Fokoos Odin 5 F3 3D printer. This thing has a double Z axis for extra stability. It's got a lattice hotbed so you can easily remove those models. So I'm going to actually try this without putting any blue tape down like I normally would for a 3D printer. It's got an LCD touchscreen for all of your controls, and it's got a really large print area. I'm used to a 3D printer with about 3 inches of print space. This thing has 235 millimeters by 235 millimeters by 255 millimeters tall, which is just about 9 1/4 print area and about 9 3/4 tall. So this is a really large area compared to what I'm used to. So we're going to go ahead and open this up and see what's inside of this thing. Now this box is a little larger than what I normally have for the table, so I hope we can fit everything here on the table and you can see it all as I open it up. I'm going to pop these tabs first. We're going to lay this down. Hopefully I have the correct side up. So it's packed in some nice foam here, so it should pull right out. Here it comes. Looks like this is the correct direction. Well, I'm caught on the handle. That's what's going on. Pin that back. Come right on out now. Let's see. Yep. All right, that's everything out of the box. So we'll get rid of the foam. Side here. So packaged really nicely, like foam all around this thing. Foam actually inside of it as well, and some shrink wrap. That's that. Here is the printer. More foam. Oh, it even comes with a spool here. White PLA 1.75 millimeters, and actually a decent amount for testing. I'm used to like just a small little bit just to do a quick print of a cat or a boat, but there is a good amount on here. Let's see, we've got, oh, it looks like there's a nozzle right here sticking out of the accessory box. And then in the accessory box, we got 2 nozzles, a quick start guide, and the instruction manual, power cable, looks like some double-sided tape, a putty knife for removal, a USB cable, looks like a USB A to C, probably for some communication. Some black plastic tabs, we'll find out what those are for. This is the stand for the spool. Some wrenches and some Allen keys. This is the attachment for here for the spool. What else we got? Looks like a spring of some sort. A USB stick. Micro SD. Oh, it's a USB adapter to micro SD card. Micro SD card included. I have been told that there's some sample prints in here, so it's probably on this. What else we got in here? A lot of screws. This is probably for putting the whole thing together. And then in here, one last thing. Wow! It even has some clippers for clearing off all those extra pieces from your supports. This is a full kit. I mean, everything that you need is in here. With the lattice hotbed, I would normally say that you would still need some blue tape and some glue stick to help remove everything off the hotbed, but they're saying with this lattice hotbed you shouldn't need that it's going to pop right off, and then they give you this little putty knife to help get it off if you need to. So that's all that's in here. Slide this off to the side, and then here is the printer itself. There's still some more foam in here. So on this printer, this should just stand right up. Probably have to, yep, let's break off this saran wrap. There we go, saran wrap off. Here is some more foam, a lot of foam. This is packaged really nice for its shipping. All right, I think that's it. So now we can stand this up, and this thing will get screwed together. But before we do that, oh, here's some more here too. So extruder head right here, and there is a nozzle in there. So either these are replacement nozzles or different sizes. We'll have to check into that. We'll have to remove this piece of foam here, it's zip tied on with the ribbon cable. We'll have to screw this together. There is a piece of plastic on the hot bed that'll probably need to come off. But yeah, that's about it. So here on the back, we have a power on and off, power cable, and a fan. On this side, nothing. On this side, we have the USB plug right here and the SD card reader right there. And then here on the front, we have the LCD touchscreen. Okay, so there are 5 of these M5/8s and 3 of these M4/8s. So out of a process of elimination, I can guess that the 5, we're going to use 4 of them, and those are going to actually hold the stand up. And then the 3, we'll use 2 of them, and that'll hold the filament holder on. So I've got those. Let's go ahead and get out an Allen key. Get the right size one. All right. Lift this up. And there are 4 screw holes that we'll put this into. So there's the first one. So that's that. That is on. We will now get the M4/8s, the smaller screws. I will pull out 2 of these. And then 2 of the washers, or sorry, 2 of the nuts. And then we will get this here. From the way it looks in the photo, it will go this way. So this will go to the front with the foot facing forward. This will push in, lines up, and we just twist it 45 degrees, and that locks it in. We will then take the screws and put it through the hole. We will add the nut to the other side. Just like so. And the second one, same way. Just like so. And I didn't screw them in all the way. I'm only going a slight bit down because I think I'm going to have to put it here on the top and then tighten it once it's there. So I'm just starting it. Get another Allen key out, find the correct size. It is this one. So we're going to take this, line those up into there. We're going to put this, I guess, in the center. I'm going to stand up and probably out of the camera shot. Sorry about that. Just going to tighten this on. Line it up to the center. Tighten it all the way down. And of course, I don't know if this is supposed to be in the center. I'm kind of just guessing that's where it needs to be. That way it can easily go anywhere that the extruder is going. But easy enough to move, it's just screws. Alright, so those 2 screws are tight. They're on there, that's not going anywhere. These 2 black ends look like they're the caps for this piece here on the stand. So I am just going to slide that in like so. Slide this one in like so. And I think that's the whole printer. It's set up and ready to go. Probably need to pull this off before we actually print, but these screws, I'm guessing are extra, so that's nice. They give you some extra screws, so I'll put those back in the bag. Along with these extra nozzles, so we'll put those in the bag as well so we don't lose them. Put the Allen keys back in with these wrenches. Put this all off to the side for now. Now this that I thought was double stick tape is nowhere near double stick tape. This is actually extra. Once again, there are more spare parts in here in case something happens. These are 2 ribbon cables. This is another ribbon cable to replace this one, and another ribbon cable to replace this one. So once again, this needs to go with everything else that we have that is spare just in case. So speaking of ribbon cables, we are going to take the one right here. We're going to pull this up some. Get this pulled out. And there's the ribbon cable here, and we are just going to slide that into here. Pop this up to make it loose. As that's up, this should be able to slide right on in. Just like so. And then we push down and it'll lock into place. So that's it. That ribbon cable is in. We come to this side and we do the same thing. I will actually tape those snips. Get these back out after I put them away again. Let's break this zip tie, get the last piece of foam out of there, and then we're going to take this ribbon cable, and same thing, it's going to go right into the side of the extruder. And that one just pushes in with a little bit of a little force, but it's in there. So that one's in, and this one's in, and that should be it. So the next thing we're going to do is take this power cable, plug it in, right here on the back. We are going to take off this piece of plastic. And this one, and this one. And these are just clips, so I could have actually just pulled this clip back, like so, to get the plastic off, as you just saw, and we can slide it right back on. It's a little spring clamp to hold the glass bed on, but I think I got all the plastic out of there. Put that over here. Take it off the LCD touchscreen. And that is it. That's how easy this whole thing is to put together. I mean, it's pretty much put together when you get it out of the box. It's literally adding 6 screws and putting in 2 ribbon cables, and it's ready to go. So what we're going to do is I'm going to plug this in, move the camera onto the actual print bed so you can see this thing in action, and I will get some of the test files that are included on here. We will plug it in, and we will put this thing to use. I'm going to try it on some PLA that it comes with. I also brought some ABS, and we're going to try that all in here, and we're going to see how this thing works. Be right back. Alright, so I got the camera set up so we can actually see the screen. I got the lights turned down a little bit, so hopefully we're going to be able to see the screen when we actually turn it on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on, and you're going to hear the fan kick in. So all that is just the fan. We're booting up. Go into Tools. I'm going to hit Preheat, and I'm going to set it to where I want it to be, and I want it to actually be at 200 for now. I'm using PLA, so obviously that's recommended to be somewhere between 200 and 220. And then, even though it's PLA, I'm going to set the hotbed as well. So I'm going to hit this button down here that says Extrusion 1, and now it says hotbed, and it's set to 20, and I can actually come up here, and I'm just going to set it to 60. So I have the hotbed at 60 and the extruder at 200, and now it's heating up. So I can back out of that again. And then the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to level. So I'm going to come here and here, and I'm going to home the whole unit. Alright, we can start to see it now. It's coming down. It's just above the plate. So the next thing we're going to want to do is level. So I'm going to hit back, and we're going to come into leveling. And in here, it lets you level all the corners as well as the center. So I like to use a magazine page, so it's a little bit thicker than a piece of paper. And we're going to come in here and we're going to tell it we're going to do each point. So that first corner, it's going to line up to where it needs to be. And I'm just going to come in here with this piece of magazine, and I'm going to want it just to kind of slide just over the glass and the extruder. Now I can't get in there, so there's a little knob here that I'm going to unscrew. There we go. So it's just getting through with dragging a little bit. Then we're going to go to the next position. A little bit of filament in there. And same thing, I'm going to come in here with the magazine, and I'm going to try to set it where it's just enough where it's dragging. So this one needs to go up a little bit. Right there. 0.3 is in the back. And we're good. So we back out. All right, so now that we're leveled, I'm going to load the filament. The first thing I want to do is load the extruder with filament. So I'm going to go to move, and I'm just going to bring it up a little bit just so it's not sitting right on the hotbed. All right, so that's good. And now I'm going to grab the filament. So what we're going to do is now put the filament into the extruder. There's a little hole right here on the very top of it. So we're just going to put that right on in there until it stops. Then we're going to come back here onto the screen, and we're going to go into filament, and we're going to hit load. And it says, heat completed. Please load filament to the extruder. Hit confirm. It says, is loading. Please wait. Load filament completed. Click confirm to return. Alright, so the extruder is now loaded, and I cleaned out the filament that was on the hotbed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the SD card in here that I have a G-code file on. So we just push it in. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to say that we're ready for printing. So I'm going to hit printing. And if you take a look right here, it's set up that it's showing a picture of what we're printing. So I'm going to hit this. It's a picture of Pikachu. And it says print the model, Pikachu G-code, and you confirm it. Here's a picture of what's going to be printed. And it shows you the temperatures down here. Shows you the time that it's gone here. Shows you how high your Z level is. And it shows you the percentage that we're done. You can come here in the options, and you can actually change the temperatures, the fan speed, help the filament, speed it up, everything else that you need here, or even slow it down if you need to. And we can just let it go. All right, it's been 6.5 hours. Let me turn the fan off. So now you can actually hear me a little better. But yeah, it's been 6.5 hours. It's a little dark in here now. Let me turn the light on, see if that helps. And we can actually see the completed Pikachu here. It still has all the supports on it, and it's on the bed here. Let's see if this comes off nice and easily from the bed like they say. So if I just grab it and pull, oh, it just came right off. Look at that, one piece. That was nice. And then you can start seeing the Pikachu in here. And if we pop this off, just like that, and like this, you can start seeing him form right there. Clean the ears off a little bit. And there we go. Got a little Pikachu with a tiny tail. We'll have to glue his tail back on. That was me just not being careful enough when I was taking him apart.
But 6.5 hour print, as you can see here, really good quality, smooth. I see a little bit of lines in here, but not bad at all. I mean, this is pretty solid, pretty smooth. Needs a little bit of sanding in the ears, but there you go. Pikachu, printed in PLA. Alright, so we're going to clean this up. I'm going to get another G-code ready, and we're going to attempt to do a print in ABS and see how it does with something that needs a little bit more heat. Alright, we're back. I went ahead and reloaded the printer with some ABS filament rather than PLA. So we're going to go in here to printing. I'm going to print a different file. Instead of doing Pikachu this time, I'm going to do the built-in vase. If you notice, there is no picture for the vase. When I went into Cura and redid the G-code to go with ABS rather than PLA, when I exported it, for some reason it did not save the photo here, so I'll have to see why that happened. But obviously that's not going to affect the way that the printer works. So we're going to go ahead and hit vase, confirm, and the print head and the extruder are already heated up, so we should be starting almost instantly. Alright, the ABS print of the vase is all done, so let me turn the fan off so we can hear a little better. So here is the ABS vase. As you can see, it's all finished, and I am not seeing any cracks in here. A lot of it's pretty smooth too. There's a little bit of some rough areas here where it curves out. But as you can see, as I just touched it, it actually started coming right off the build plate. So there we go, right off the build plate. No problems whatsoever there. No cracking. You can kind of see some lines in here. But this actually built really well. Let's see how this bottom comes off. If it comes off nicely. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice and clean. So yeah, ABS, this thing worked without actually being covered. While it was printing, I did hear some cracking sounds coming from the ABS, which is it cooling. I do know that if you encase this in a plastic bag or a cardboard box while it's printing, it really helps with it cooling down slower so you don't hear that cracking as much. But I'm pulling on this and I don't have any splits or cracks that I'm seeing. But like I said, it is pretty thin in there. I probably could have thickened that up in the G coating, but other than that, it's pretty nice. Let's see how this comes off. So once again, no hot glue, no blue tape on here, just the built-in glass bed, and as you can see, it's coming off piece by piece here. Look at that. I just scraped right across it, and this is just coming right off. I did nothing to this. So that right there, very, very happy with. Look at that. Clean and ready for the next use.
So there you have it. I showed you how to set this up, how to use it. I showed you that it can print really nice with PLA and with ABS. This print bed is amazing. It just peeled right off without having to pick and pull like I'm used to on some of my other beds. This thing is super quiet, except for obviously the fan that you're hearing, but the printing itself was not noisy. This thing took a little bit longer than Cura told me. So like when you go through and you do your slicing, let's say it said it was going to take 4 hours, the printer took a little bit more. It was closer to 5 or 5.5. Once again, this has been Monkey Around Reviews with the Fokoos Odin 5F3 3D printer. If you've used a printer like this before, in fact, if you've used this exact printer before, go ahead and comment below your settings for your slicer so other people can get it. Now, I went ahead and installed Fokoos' proprietary software for their slicer. They built it off of Cura. So I went in there and grabbed those settings, adjusted them a little bit, and then installed them in Cura that I use on my Mac since theirs was PC only. So they're down there in case you want to get settings to start with if you use Cura as well. And as always, make sure you like and subscribe.
Hmm?